Ho, 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 gamers! Wake up, cause you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games. Bob, my voice is stuck like this.
What are you gonna do about that?
Dr. Aggro. And Chris Wolfhard.
Oh no.
Here on GigaBoots.
Every time someone doesn't make a recording, I'm like, just make the most obvious joke about it possible. And then I'm like, this will age like milk if they croak.
As always.
As always. You just get, anyways. Hey everybody, how's it going? We got some very Christmassy music going on, of course.
Mm-hmm.
God. What's up, Bob? Is there...
There are parts of the song that are okay, and then there are parts that are like, oh, no, it's so banjo it hurts.
I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem.
Look, Bob, my bar for rare is pretty low, but the song doesn't belch or fart, so I'm kind of okay with it. That's
very true. You know, I need to listen to the soundtrack from Kingdoms of Amalur again, because that is also
Kirkhope.
What it? Yeah, that is also Grant Kirkhope. And like, I don't remember that game's soundtrack farting and shitting and pissing, but maybe it did. I can't imagine I was paying too much attention because that game is borderline Valium.
That would fucking kill me. They're doing the most overwrought delivery of super serious lines possible. It is just like...
Yeah, just like the fart versions of Warcraft music while the Obi-Wan impersonator that is your mentor is saying his fucking unbelievably terrible dialogue.
Kirkhope really knocked it out of the park this time. He made what sounds like an organ made out of butts.
You see, when you have that sort of clashing dichotomy, it's incredible, actually.
That's true. It's about contrasts, really. It's about contrast. You know how serious things are about to get because the sound of farting is blowing out your speakers.
Yes.
You know what? That is kind of how DK64 went at times, so I don't know. Maybe we're on to something. Anyways, hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to Big Think Dimension number 199, 1 week away from the 200th Big Think Dimension, which sounds absurd.
Get hype.
Yeah, no, that's the one with the Game Awards next week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. There's gonna be news.
It's gonna be the first 7-hour-long Big Think Dimension if we include the Game Awards, what we're going to do before the Game Awards, and then Big Think Dimension after the Game Awards.
It's gonna be really good, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I wonder how Aggro's gonna deal with that. And then I imagine Aggro's just literally going to put on Joker makeup for the whole day.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking good.
Yes.
That would be so fucking good. He's just like, 7-hour workday at my pretend job.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're like, so Aggro, what are you doing next week? And then he's just like Ashita no Joe. He's like slumped over and turned to ash.
Bob, how did you get that filter working? It looks like he's got a pencil sketched outline, and you're like, I didn't do that. I thought you did that. And we both just look at him. I guess he's like Majin Vegeta energy explosion. He's now a statue, you know?
Yeah, he's painted himself to look like that.
You know, the Dragon Ball fandom has a lot of crazy names and terms for various things that are various levels of legitimate.
Yeah.
Is there one for that?
I don't know.
Is there a word for when Majin Vegeta did the he gets angry and all of his energy?
Yes, I think there is. Let me look it up real quick.
It's called psychometempsychosis, and I'm just
also,
like,
the fandom doesn't come up with those names. Usually a game does because they have to include every single thing.
That's true.
In it. Apparently the official name is just called Final Explosion.
simultaneous with you saying it showed up in chat. That is horrifying.
Now,
that is a really terrible name.
Alternate names. Last comma final trick. Suicide. And I'll blow you to pieces.
Now, is that just the explosion, or do you think that includes the stone form, or is there a different name for the stone form?
Well, you can't do the explosion without the stone form. It's like
yeah,
one.
You can.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm just gonna. You know what? Now I'm the Joker. Now I am the Joker.
Of course, they've done so many things since the original series, and obviously Vegeta's used it since.
God,
fuck me! Come on, damn it, Bob. I am tired of not having a comprehensive knowledge of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball affiliated media like I do the movies, and other things. I think you know what that means.
Oh no,
I'm gonna have to pull it off this shelf and beat you with it. Here we go. Fucking, I'm gonna make you watch GT.
No.
I really do think the absolute funniest, like, fighters just naming attacks what characters said as they did them.
Yeah, that's
was
fucking
really
hilarious.
Smart. Or it's where Frieza, you just look at Frieza's move list and it's like, don't think you'll survive this time. It's one of the moves.
Hey, you know, you gotta name it something. Why not name it the thing the motherfucker said right before doing it?
Or the old PS2 games were like, we really gotta sell Bardock, so we gotta make all his shitty moves have the coolest names imaginable. Yes. Like Rebellion Spear and Riot Javelin.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Riot's move names in those games. Were like Double Sunday and things that made no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very Raditz core though, because it was not intimidating in the least.
I think I forget if it was Kakarot, the game, or one of the PS2 ones where all of his attacks were days of the week. Every single one was a different day of the week.
Yeah, I think that's Budokai.
Yeah, because I guess they just continued it forward after Budokai, and they probably just made more and more moves.
Like, we're running out of days. Why didn't they name any of these? Hey, Dan, when's Dragon Ball month? I don't know, viewer. When's $6,400?
Jesus.
Look, there's a lot of bad Dragon Ball games.
Basically,
there
nothing but.
I don't even know how do you cull that down into being manageable? Because there's just so many games like, we played a bad fighting game for an hour. Not really much else to do here.
We did 30 videos this month. Fuck you. Like, it would basically be Star Wars month, where we just did a chunk of Star Wars games and with no intention to beat them.
I guess we could at least do like the mainline after Budokai came out, like the big ones.
Yeah, I mean,
like
those
that.
are the obvious picks. It's all legacy of Gokus and
right.
You need to play sagas because I have no idea what form that game takes.
You own that, right?
I don't think so. I think that Xeon owns it though.
Yeah,
because that is the one that was made by fucking Warner Brothers and was trying to be like a story focused one.
Mm-hmm.
Like a linear single player story focused thing.
What is the name of the one that came out after all three Budokais on the PS2 that wasn't Super Dragon Ball?
Not a Tenkaichi?
No, not the Tenkaichis. It was like World or something.
Infinite something.
Infinite World?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yes, Infinite World.
Now that one I've barely looked at, ever.
Right?
I was like, oh man, that world mechanic? That sounds infinite. This is going to be good. And then you guys went, actually, we played it. And not really. And I was sad. I was very sad hearing that. Anyway, I look... We could do Dragon Ball month, but we gotta play. I gotta set up a server for the Gmud Dragon Ball game I played in 2000.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say the Quake mod for Dragon Ball.
Ooh,
oh, those were cool looking.
Those were funny.
I never actually got any of them working. I always wanted to.
You look at what was the name of the site? Didn't they host those mods on a similar site to the Jedi Knight ones? So you're just looking at the pictures and you're like, oh, that looks like that could be cool. It could be a cool thing. It looks like he can fly, maybe.
Bid for Power is the one I'm thinking of, where it's like, yeah, it's a Quake 3 mod.
I'm gonna try to look this up just so I can put an image on screen and give people in the year 2022 a stroke.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Nexus mods back then or something else.
I think it was Nexus mods.
Have they really been around so long? Maybe.
They've been around a while. I remember downloading things from Nexus mods the very first time I played PC Oblivion in like 2009.
I'm having a stroke looking at this. This genuinely looks like the world's roughest Jedi Knight mod. Like,
that sounds beautiful.
I mean, it is the same engine, but there's just let me zoom in. You got,
oh god,
it looks exactly like that.
Oh,
and then
it's
you
so
got
good.
them flying. You know, that's, oh man. Are you sure you didn't get this working? Because I've played this.
I might have, maybe.
I'm really sure you got this working and that it was like really disappointing compared to what you would imagine. Because of course you don't think, and then Goku and everyone moves like shit. Like no one ever imagines that. Man, if you want an inauthentic experience, check this out. Widescreen. Because, you know, anyone had widescreen back then.
Ooh.
There you go. That's peak Dragon Ball gaming.
Their cowards for not having made sense. A Quake style DBZ game.
Mm-hmm. No, they should have. But
yeah, I mean, like Sony made 3 infamous games. Those are just shooters framed as like a superhero game. Just do that with Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Why don't you?
I think that would, like, Arena Fighter would make so much more sense for Dragon Ball than freaking that weird Runaway from Cell game.
Yeah. The Breakers.
The Breakers, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like
they made one of those like every year for 15 years, so I understand why they're like, we need to move away.
I'm sorry, I said Arena Fighter. I meant Boomer Shooter Arena Fighter, Arena Shooter, like a Quake.
Yeah. Insomniac needs to make a Dragon Ball game. Look, they're making a Spider-Man game. Now let them make a Dragon Ball game.
Jesus.
Do it.
The world isn't ready.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, nobody's ready for that.
It'd be too good.
It would be so good.
It would probably be one of the best selling games ever made.
It would probably ruin the sales of every other Dragon Ball game.
My brain just goes to like Dragon Ball plus Arkham Combat equals 100 million copies sold.
Right?
Yes.
Literally everyone will be united. It will cause world peace. I like this in chat. Don't forget the Wolverine Insomniac game. What do you think I touch my penis to every night?
The Dragon Ball Insomniac game comes out. I'm just looking around as the world morphs into Neo Midgar. Fucking flying cars are suddenly overhead.
Yeah, that's all it took. The best thing is the historians will then be like, why didn't they simply make a good Dragon Ball game sooner? and then it'll cut to like a gaming historian who will just be like, making a good Dragon Ball game actually isn't that easy. In fact, many people had tried leading up to that. There were 57,000 Dragon Ball games, is what it feels like, but it's probably closer to 70. I feel like there are at least 70. There's so many NES and Super NES and Game Boy.
I feel like it has to have broken 100 by now.
I've played them all.
That's so disgusting. I tried.
I was poor. I had just discovered what emulators were in like 2002.
You're like, what do I like? Dragon Ball. Well, we got some games.
We got all these games. I played all the nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you did Dragon Ball month, that means you could take Steve Bloom machine translated Goku from Final Bout and just put it on the soundboard.
Oh, that would be so good. I love every character select quote in GT Final Bout. I need to stick
so
all
good.
of them on there. Yeah, because you get like this weird aristocratic Prince Vegeta.
Yeah, that one's great. That one's the most memorable to me.
Listen, Goku, you're beneath me. And then the other guy chose Majin Buu, so he just goes, Mah!
I always think of Steve Bloom as Super Saiyan 4 Goku, where he's like, no one can beat me in this moment.
Yes. Yes, it's so good. Every one of those is so fucking good. Oh man, thank you for making me remember I have deep brain damage.
One last Dragon Ball related thing. It is vaguely related to Pokemon since I finished Pokemon this week.
Cool.
So the current meme is that Nemona, the new rival, is Goku.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I kept losing it because all I could think of was the bit we came up with during the Wrath of the Dragon Mondo Cool, where Goku, because that's one where Goku's like, everything that lives has a weakness, and Dan turns that into everything that has a beginning has an end.
Goku, as he puts the choke slam on you, all living beings die alone.
So like the Nemona as Goku was hitting that in my brain, and I just kept laughing.
Nemona's team is 6 electrodes that all explode.
They're level 99.
That would be so good. Holy shit. That's what everyone in the world's like. It's a perfect Pokemon game. She's too good. I love her. She's like this generation's Joker. Oh, man. It would have been cool in Pokemon if Game Freak had any idea what shit they put in that game, so they put some of the absolutely unhinged shit in her team. Yeah, then she has mouse hold. Cute, right? No. Does 600 normal damage or something. Jesus. It's just like weird how you wiped. Why weren't you ready, player? Oh, man. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Hey.
God, now I imagine they should have put a moment in that game where it's like, oh no, you're going to lose this one.
Yeah, 100%. That would have been, she's the character where that would have made perfect sense.
They're starting to move in that direction more and more, where it's like, what if we just made it a normal RPG and you had the battle you can't win?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, well, the first time we're going to try this, it's the first battle in the game. And I'm like, you hacks, you just ripped off dragon seeds. This is just dragon seeds. For anyone, spoilers for the first 5 minutes of dragon seeds. The first thing that happens is your pet dragon's murdered at the outside of town. You arrive at the town and they just fucking murder your dragon.
Horrible.
Your dragon's not even a fully grown dragon. It's like a baby adorable dragon. And this dude's just like, you're going to fight me. And you keep getting the text choice to say no. And then after 5 times of him being like, no, you should really reconsider. The last time it's like, you are fighting me. And the no option disappears. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. So they're going to do that for Pokemon. What trainer would be that much of a piece of shit? What if it's Gary Oak, but he's 70 years old? I feel
like he would have calmed down a little by then, but maybe not.
Yeah, you guys didn't do the post game in Sun and Moon, so he calmed down a lot since he got married to Red.
Okay, yeah, that'll do that, I guess. You know, Red dicked him down. He calmed the fuck down. All right, that's good. Man. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
You know what's a lot like a Quake mod?
Gungrave Gore?
It's a PS2 game, which means, for people who don't know, Gungrave Gore is a game that shipped last week for $50?
Yes, 50.
It's fucked up that my brain had to go $10 cheaper than MSRP. Uh-oh. Which number is that again?
Fair. Yeah.
$50 game that shipped last week. It's a PS2 game.
Yeah, it's intense.
How many times did you
is.
press square?
They moved it to R2.
They moved it to R2, man. Bob was dying.
No, that's no good.
No, it was terrible. Bob's like, I'm getting arthritis. Have you recovered yet?
Mostly. That was 11 hours straight of this. Is I just slightly tap the R2 button.
Yeah.
For 11 hours.
Yeah.
They say they're putting in a auto fire feature. They're working on it. They put out a Twitter post today being like, "Hey,
I'll wait until that's out to play it."
For anyone who's curious, what Square did, it makes you dodge. It's like you know what would have been a good button for that. R2.
Yeah.
Like I get why they did it because you want to be able to aim and shoot, but holy shit, 11-hour long game.
Yeah.
Which the how long to beats were much shorter. I'm convinced all those people set it to easy right out of the gate because it's even if you take it away the difficulty, setting the difficulty higher, like the difficulty of accomplishing it, setting the difficulty higher makes them take way more bullets. All of them.
Right.
Every enemy in the game.
That does make sense.
So yeah, they probably just set it to...
Yeah, they must have, which
easy.
I don't usually see as like the typical how long to beat time.
Yeah.
But I guess it was like first week of it being out.
Well,
so.
no, this was Gungrave Gore, and I think everyone instantly realized they did not want to play this on the normal difficulty. They aren't interested in that in the way that we are. Speaking of which, we got, 2/3 through the game or something before you just went, yeah, this is, we're going to put this on easy.
Yeah, something like that. We got to shoot a few major bosses. And it was like, okay, this is a little too much.
Yeah.
For a single stream.
Stream.
Where my finger's literally dying.
Yeah. We've never sat there on a death stream and be like, can this specific body part of ours survive the death stream?
Yeah, no, it's weird to be like the most taxing game we've ever played. Gungrave Gore.
Yeah. And until we start doing VR streams, that will probably keep the title.
Yeah.
I feel like only VR streams are going to change that.
Right, and a lot of those games will probably not be 11 hours long.
I'm trying to think, you would think that it would be obvious public knowledge by now what the longest VR game is. Someone's going to be like, there's a VR for Skyrim. And I'm like, that doesn't count. No, I'm not counting Skyrim.
VR Skyrim is going to be the first VR game to actually kill someone.
Oh, that already exists. They made a Skyrim for VR. That exists. It didn't matter. No one cared.
Yeah, they even put it on PS4.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could play that if we wanted. No one cares though. Yeah, I'm trying to, because I don't actually have a frame of reference for how long Half-Life Alyx is. I assume Resident Evil 4 is the length of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, so that's pretty long.
But I don't know if Half-Life Alyx is longer or shorter than that, but Resident Evil 4 is pretty long.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, though. You can't death stream that game, because it's on the portable one, and it would just die.
That's true. That thing has a set limit for how long you can play it.
Yeah, it has a battery life, and a really bad mobile processor in comparison to the PS5. But hey, I've just described the Switch. Anyway, let's talk about Gungrave Gore. Bob.
What's up?
That is a PS2 game. Yeah. Some people see elements of games and go, this is like a PS2 game. And they usually mean it looks kind of rough, and usually it would be more accurate to say, this is a 7th gen game. For example, Evil West looks like a 7th gen game that just freshly got ported.
Yeah, it sure does.
This is a PS2 game. It is running on Unreal Engine. It looks nice in ways you wouldn't expect, but it truly is stuck structurally and so many other ways a PS2 game.
It's specifically Gungrave.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally that same old game with a few new mechanics added.
It is so close
crazy.
Conceptually. It's as similar as the Mario 64 decompilation on PC is.
It feels that way sometimes.
Or it's just like, man, you just run well now. That's weird. What's that about?
It's also way longer than the old Gungraves, which is weird.
Yeah, that's a choice.
Yeah,
Because the first Gungrave's really short. It's like 3 or 4 hours at absolute most.
Yeah.
The second one's 6.
6, 7, something like that. Yeah.
And then we just talked about G.O.R.E. What took us 11 and a half hours or something.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's not like the environment. You go through a lot of different environments, but you stay in each one for a pretty long time. So it feels like you could literally cut a level off of each environment, and the game would just be better.
Yeah, and it's structurally, like an old video game where it's like you've entered this world, and now you get 5 or 6 levels, and it always feels like they could cut one whole level.
Yeah, at least.
Right. So it didn't need to be that long.
It's a cool thing where you get to play as other characters, but not nearly enough.
Don't you only get to play as each of them for one level?
Yes, you get each of them for one level. There's 30 levels in this game.
Guys, when's the last time you played a video game? They made a whole new playable character, and then you played them for a level.
I have to assume that they're working on like a patch that adds more DLC that lets you have more something. This game clearly sets up for more Gungrave. So if anyone was wondering,
they said like we were excited to keep making more Gungrave.
I hope it does well enough for them to continue to make Gungrave.
Yeah,
because that's a beautiful dream to live out.
Yeah, 100%. It's like if somebody just started making Curse of Darkness this year. They're like, here you go. And I'm like, oh my god, it says Castlevania on the box and everything. What the fuck? Like, there's something beautiful about here's this PS2 game.
Yeah.
It's alive again. We decided Night Owl art is still really cool.
You're not wrong.
For people who don't know, character designer for Trigun designed the characters for Gungrave. If you're unaware, Trigun, for people who don't know, is an anime
in manga.
In manga from 1990 Zymold.
It's getting a new one that doesn't have Night Owl designs in it.
Oh, I thought Night Owl just changed their. Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's an all-new designer.
That would explain it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do look like a very different design, but video games. Yeah, I don't know. The Gungrave's really cool, and I'm really glad they made it. There's no way I'm spending $50 on it. Oh boy, they should have gotten the real voice actors.
Oh yeah, it has all like voice actors that are Korean people who can speak English. That's what it sounds like, at least.
Yeah, every sentence they're like, I said all of the syllables, and you're like, well, most of them.
I think that the one girl who narrates most of your action has a voice actress who is at least fluent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about anyone else.
Yeah. Everyone else is like, like Scientist Guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Scientist Guy is so bad. I hope that if they get to make a sequel, they all get recasts.
Oh, yeah.
Because
this is bad. I love bad voice acting a lot of the time. This isn't fun bad. This is just, what?
Also, back in original Gungrave, they had like big anime voice actors. Like Steve Bloom was Bungie.
Right.
Him not being Bungie is just weird.
Yeah. Even more importantly, like Bungie just being some guy. Like, there's no drip to any of these performances. This is dripless.
Yeah, when you can hardly speak the language, you aren't exactly doing a good performance.
Right. Exactly. Like, most of them literally sound like they're rambling, and they almost sound like they're not aware they're being recorded. That's the level of performance you're getting here.
You are honestly better off just reading the subtitles and not even trying to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm glad Gungrave's back.
Yes.
That was a good stream. It was an enjoyable stream. That was a much longer stream than we were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
That game should not have been that long. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it? Other than, man, when the music kicks in, it's real good.
I guess not, yeah. Like, the graphics are impressive. Like, I did not think it looked that good.
Yeah, me neither. It's very strange to see a game that's a PS2 game in so many ways and then looks good.
And then you have all those cool special attacks. And a lot of them are crazy, like turn your coffin into a flamethrower.
Yeah, we didn't describe the gameplay at all.
No.
For anyone who's completely unaware, it's like what you would call a third-person shooter / action game where you have you're a giant dude who's scary as hell, carries 2 super huge guns and a coffin gun on his back, and once again looks like a Trigun character. It's really cool.
Yeah, you walk around slowly shooting dudes a lot. You take a bunch of damage, but you have a recharging shield, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
It's cool.
But yeah, that's it for me. You? Did you like the ray tracing mode?
No.
There's a 4K 30 frames per second ray tracing mode.
Yeah, we turned it on and it was sickening.
And we were just like, where's the ray tracing? And we had to find the correct surfaces because some of them should have reflected but didn't. And then we found the ones that did, and it was like, that looks neat, I guess.
Yeah, the ray tracing sure is neat.
On a related note, I bought Cyberpunk 2077 to check out the Psycho RT setting. Bob and I played this game for an hour and a half, and almost non-stop, I am just turning it on and off and doing this. Let me go ahead and start this with, if you aren't playing games in HDR, then I doubt this will make any impact because it's kind of disgusting to say this, but it's true. Turning on HDR for Cyberpunk was a far more impactful change than turning on ray tracing. One of these things basically didn't affect performance. The other took me from 80 frames per second of native 4K down to 36.
Yeah, it was bouncing between 80 and 90. And then it would bounce between 30 and 38.
Yeah. I think maybe I saw the digit 40 once ever the entire time. This also gave us an opportunity to mess around with DLSS 2. But let me explain. The reason I bought this is because there were 2 games I was shown DLSS 3 in from every reviewer of my video card. And that was Spider-Man and this. They still don't have DLSS 3 in this game.
That's crazy.
Everyone's like, where the fuck is the update? Because we're approaching 2 months now.
Yeah.
Like in a week or 2, it will be 2 months since these cards came out. And it's like, where the hell is this feature you advertised the card and the game with?
Maybe you'll launch the same day as Portal RTX.
I know which one I'm more excited for because, Portal RTX is the game I like but looks prettier, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And one of these is turning soap opera mode on at a game level instead of a TV level. But yeah, we get to check out Cyberpunk. Man, that game's weird. Still in the opening. I'm sure it gets a lot more normalized when you play it a lot more of it.
Right.
But in the opening, I'm just experiencing the story and just going, every 10 seconds, turn on ray tracing. That looks mildly better. Okay. Like if you're inside the car, you get this long conversation with the dude inside of a car. The cool neon lights and the floorboard and stuff looks really cool with ray tracing because you get some bouncing. And by really cool, I mean noticeable.
Yeah, it looks subtle and better.
It does. I think I've discovered the easiest way to describe to you the major change that Psycho RT on Cyberpunk does. So really high-end ray tracing does. Are you ready? Ray tracing basically makes all of the lighting in a video game look less flat. It's like if every frame of a game got touched up in Photoshop to make it look a little bit more real.
Okay.
And it tanks the hell out of your performance to do it. I'm not tapped into a lot of the PC gaming community. I know enough where they just won't use ray tracing because they want better performance, but I'm not sure how indicative that is of the larger, PC gamer market. But the way Digital Foundry has been acting on recent DF weeklies, I'm inclined to believe Twitter at least is making them known, making Digital Foundry aware that none of those people are really into it. Which makes sense. One of the things I like about PC Alex Vitali is now hunting you. Yes, that's right, Swole. He's coming for me. One of the things I like about PC gaming is being able to run things at higher resolution and run them better.
Right, of course.
Ray tracing has been neat on retro games, like things that look more primitive, and you put the higher fidelity lighting on it. It's like, oh, that looks cool. But we got so good at faking lighting in the last 2 decades that, as it turns out in Cyberpunk, you have to be like, yeah, that looks different. It looks less flat and fake. That's cool. I would like to play the game at playable frame rates now, which is why you need to use DLSS 2 to fake some pixels. So that way you get really weird effects out of that. But it's okay. Now you have playable frame rates on your ray tracing on a $1,700 video card.
I'm starting to think that maybe
we're not ready.
Maybe Cyberpunk isn't optimized well.
Oh yeah, no, that is absolutely the case. Like Spider-Man, we booted Spider-Man.
Yes,
and it ran much better. And that thing is maybe doing a little bit fancier stuff than Cyberpunk in a few different ways.
Can't you do non-visual things with ray tracing? Like, can it be used mechanically for some things?
You could, yeah. I don't know that anyone has come out and said that they're doing that, but yeah, you can ray trace audio, you can ray trace sight lines, you can ray trace, and they are doing that to some extent. I don't think they're using GPU compute to do that. Well, they have to do it for audio caustics, but they generally aren't like, we need to offload the sightline of the NPCs to this hardware. It's the only way.
I could see some insane like CBT simulator stealth game for PC Master Race guys that come out and is like, we ray trace the audio so it's really realistic. Spend your entire life learning the nuances of this game in order to get through it.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be neat. I think there's a market for that. I think if you did really premium audio in your game and you made your game all about that, then there's a market for that. Like some sort of Hellblade with its binaural mics. No one remembers that. Bring up Hellblade.
So what you're saying, Dan, is that ray tracing is like a toothpick. Like the image I just put into the Discord.
Jesus.
1 second, let me spin around and see what we've got here. I would say Cyberpunk basically is that experience.
Bob, what would you say?
Another
good point of comparison is when Alex Jones posted himself before and after spending 40 days using his supplement, and he was just red.
I feel like
it was different.
I feel like this dude is more accurate because the guy on the right is just cooler.
Yeah, obviously, Cyberpunk is just cooler.
It's just cooler,
but not much.
It's yeah. So it's a lot like that. Oh boy. Bob, I don't know how to feel about any of this anymore. For people who aren't paying attention, I had a 1080 Ti this whole time, for like 5 years or something. I don't remember. And I didn't get to do DLSS or ray tracing or any of the shit until now. And now I have what is the most powerful GPU in the world. And that's a privileged position. It is beyond words how privileged that is. And I still have to sit here and go, I don't know that I should turn on ray tracing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like,
what the fuck's going on?
It's one of those things where neat. Okay, go back to playable mode.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Because like Bob got to see it. He was here live looking at the HDR 4K 36 frames per second and how smeared it was and how like you couldn't imagine playing this game on a mouse and keyboard like this. You could only barely imagine doing it on a controller. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, being bold, outside of absolute tech wizards like Insomniac and maybe some other high-end developers, maybe ray tracing doesn't play a prominent role this gen for any game that's ever going to run well. Maybe. We have 6 more years of this gen, according to that thing that Sony filed, and I would believe it. Getting performance upgrades from here on out is absolute horrible nightmare. Squeezing blood out of a stone tear of like, it used to be that you could wait 3 years and be like, oh, we can make a chip of the same size, and now it will like have so much more processing power at the same cost. It's like, no, a chip at the same size 3 years later costs more. It's like, excuse me, that's not how. Anyways, Moore's law is dead, and anyone who tells you otherwise is tricking themselves. So yeah. Anyways, Cyberpunk. I bought it to check out the LSS3. Still not in it. Fucking second time this has happened, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, it's insane.
Kind of, sorta. Spider-Man had it. I just had to change settings. It's just not there. I wish any reviewer had let me know. Any.
Yeah, they probably
shouldn't do what they did.
I know.
Is my opinion.
I imagine. Those reviewers were told that this stuff would be out when the video cards were out.
Right. Or a reasonable update within a reasonable time, not 2 months.
Yeah. And that's why they didn't even mention it. But they should, of course, have mentioned it. Maybe there was something in the NDA about they can't.
All I know is there have been a lot of follow-up videos that absolutely didn't mention that.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. But anyway. That's it for Cyberpunk. I'm done talking about it. Hey, Bob.
Hey. You know, one more thing about Cyberpunk.
Sure.
I was really surprised that though that game, is, from what we heard, has been stripped down to being more like just a GTA almost.
Mm-hmm.
There was still a ton of, no, this plays like a Western RPG.
Yeah, it just doesn't play like the grand simulation, thing that people are expecting based on the marketing.
It plays like a Western RPG in the sense it's a bad shooter.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's like if you just made a Far Cry game play worse.
Yeah, I found out my $30 are basically forfeit when they're like, okay, we're training you on how to play the game. Enjoy this terrible stealth. Like, I was immediately like, oh my God, please no. So am I going to enjoy Cyberpunk? No. But they'll add DLSS 3, and since that game's a bloated pile of crap, it will tax the PC enough where you and I will get to experience. Would we rather have 36 frames per second, or get a magical DLSS 3 powered 72?
Ooh.
I can spoil this for you guys already. I'm not fucking blind like seemingly most gamers are. I bet it will look like a fucking nightmare and I will hate it. But we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like you turn on Bob Team Epic mode on whatever game you're playing.
Yeah, that's basically how it feels. I'm done talking about that though.
Okay.
I didn't want to make Pokemon. We did not do Pokemon Days, but I did get the full decks. That was good. We did a small stream for that. That'll be over on the Stream Archive channel soon. This isn't what we've been playing, and this will come up later, but I'm going to bring it up now anyways, for anyone who dips before the end. The Gears ranking video seemingly done. That was...
Oh my God.
I had every order of magnitude of technical nightmare getting that shit done over the last... I think I spent about 12 hours straight banging into that and it collapsing and me rebuilding it. We're talking, I uninstalled all my scripts. I reinstalled all my scripts. I uninstalled Vegas. I reinstalled Vegas. I turned off the GPU accelerated functionality of Vegas, and then that fixed the project file. So if anyone listening uses Vegas, hey, try that one time. If you get a project file that just will not boot anymore, it'll lock up at 72% or whatever. Start a new document, blank document, change your preference to not even touch the GPU. Try it again. Because that saved that. And I wish I'd known that back when I did some other projects, because we could have saved those and prevented me from having to redo hours of work.
Yeah.
But the Gears ranking video is really good. The ending hits so hard, Bob, I forgot what it was.
I don't remember either, so I'm excited.
I had to watch it this morning as I'm making sure each piece is like... Because for people who don't know, the ranking shot is the thing I needed to edit in at this point and do the piecemeal renders of each part of this thing. And I get to the very end and I'm like, do we show how do we lead into, and I fucking lost it. Because I was like, oh my God, this is a perfect video. So anyway, that thing is over an hour and 47 minutes.
Feature-length Gears review.
It is a feature-length Gears franchise ranking video. We hope you appreciate it. The thumbnail is some powerful stuff. I don't know that we actually ever showed it.
I feel like we showed anything. It when we first got it from Just as Egg.
Yeah, I feel like you're correct, but I don't actually know. It's good. It is good. But hopefully that will get out in next week. I just need to make a new Patreon bumper for the love of Christ. It's been 9 fucking months. What is wrong with me? Bob, did you play any video games in the last week?
Yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
But also, this week, Pepsi sponsored Lindsay Lohan to advertise Pepsi milk, putting milk in your Pepsi for the holidays. So I have made here artificial Pepsi milk with oat milk.
Well, you can't make
artificial pilk.
Bob, that's not pilk anymore. That's polk because it's oat milk. Why are you drinking polk over there? That's disgusting.
Bob's going to be drinking the soy version of Pepsi milk.
I know, right? You know that won't turn you into Lindsay Lohan, right?
I sure hope it doesn't. That sounds like a curse.
On a related note, of all the spokespeople, they choose her, and she just goes, I put this in my body. And I'm like, I bet you do that with some things that would kill me. Based on public record, you have definitely done that. Bob, why are you drinking polk, and how is that going for you?
It's okay. That's as best as I'm going.
That's always why people act like it's so weird. And I'm like, no, it's cream and soda. People drink soda floats. Pepsi Nitro has like the weird texture that it has already.
Yeah.
It's like this became a meme because people already did it. Like they did it on Laverne and Shirley. Laverne and Shirley did it because old people used to do it. My godmother used to do it all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to order, Dairy Queen had old-fashioned sodas, which were just soda with, like, some of the ice cream in it. Just not even,
really,
like, full ice cream thing, but just enough to make it frizzy.
Dude, I went there. I didn't even know.
Yeah, they took it off the menu ages ago.
That's crazy.
And they would still let me order it for a few months, and then they stopped forever.
Sorry, I'm chuckling because someone in chat very politely says, "Do I have to become a Patreon to see the Gears ranking video? Or will you post it on YouTube?" Castlevania ranking. Oh man, I could not imagine putting this much work in and only showing it to GigaBoots Prime patrons. That'd be
crazy.
They'll probably get access to it earlier, though. To be frank, they've gotten piecemeal each part, and frankly, I've put together a version of this that might be the final version, sans the Patreon bumper. There's an entire possibility I just upload it, watch it myself, see that it's fine, and then go, here you guys go, while I work on the Patreon bumper. Because I spend too much time making those.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Dan like staring at the view counter of the Patreon version, then realizing how long it took to edit, and then just like the camera slowly pulling out.
Is this the
fucking
end
a dolly zoom shot?
Right? Is this the end of the Social Network? I'm just sitting there hitting refresh. Come on, guys.
Dan looking at the view count, and it's like that scene in Dark Man where he's not getting the stuffed animal.
Bob's like, just put it out for everyone. One moment, Bob. My views, please.
Dan reaches over and crushes the algorithm's hand.
Dude, sometimes I wish I could reach through my monitor and grab the hand of someone at YouTube.
Anyone.
I feel like if you're a YouTuber, you've definitely had that moment because Jesus Christ, this platform. But yeah, no, that video is really good. I'm so glad we did it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shame we became so over encumbered.
Yeah.
That, Bob, that video was mostly edited 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like it was, I'm looking at the project files. It was basically done on the 10th of September.
That sounds right. I remember just not being worked on for quite a while because of so many other things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we had a ton of things we were doing. It's good video. I hope you all enjoy it when it finally comes out in the next week. And if it doesn't come out in the next week, that means some other tech nightmare cropped up in between me saying this and me watching it later today.
God.
Right?
God.
Right? Bob, I gotta say though.
What's up?
I understand you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
That is no substitute for milk in that exact drink because there's a reaction dairy has with the soda that none of these substitutes will have.
Yeah,
so
it's not the same. I know that, but I can't drink that.
It's not even a flavor thing. It's a textural thing. You just made a different thing, and you're like, I'm doing it. That's like if I was like, Lindsay Lohan said to put my hand on this chainsaw, and it's like, no, she put her hand on a cup. And I was like, oh, is this different? Yeah, I don't know. I think I told this story. Sometimes, very seldomly, while I'm at a gas station, I make a soda. I just look around to see if anyone's in there to judge me. This isn't illegal. I'm just seeing if anyone's there to judge me. And if there's nowhere there to judge me, I take my soda from the soda fountain over to the coffee creamer thing. And I just put in French vanilla creamer into my diet and normal mix Mountain Dew. And I'm like, good. God cannot see me here. And, you know, it tastes good. It tastes good. Nobody's come up with Mountain Dilk, though, so, you know. Bob, what have you been playing so we can transition quickly away from Mountain Dew?
Yeah, I don't want to think anymore about Mountain Dilk. I finished God of War. Did all the extra stuff I intend to do.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
So the game did end?
The game does end.
Yes, it does.
Well, that's good.
Surprising.
I was hoping I wouldn't sign up for a game that never ended and I would just die playing it someday.
It's like, how is all of it immaculate and it doesn't end?
Yeah.
It's like what they promised was Destiny.
Yeah, could you imagine?
It even has light levels just like Destiny.
Wait, God of War 2018 came out in 2018, right? Yeah. That is the title, that is the year. Yes. I got it right? Okay. So, could you imagine God of War, the show, 2018? Like it's a sports game. Anyways, it took them 4.5 years and they made this super game. Could you fucking fathom if Destiny ever was able to do that?
No, because the initial thing is like this. It's not a framework to work from. You have to start again.
Yeah.
And that's why 2 is the same skeleton game.
Yeah, they did that. It's called Destiny 2, and it's radically better and not just arbitrary changes like it's Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Definitely not the same brain disease. I bet no one at Activision fucked up Destiny 2.
Man, it's when you said that thing about your horror that the next Pokemon game is some weird Destiny-like. The only reason I think it can't go that exact direction of being horrible is it feels like Destiny is what you get when you can't make an open world and it's impossible for you. So it's a situation born from they couldn't make the transition, and it now is this weird set of hallways.
Yeah, I mean, it is true that Destiny is a branching path that very, very narrowly travel off in their own ways to make levels. At least that was the case many years ago. I haven't played any of the recent expansions. Those could be more broad and expanded.
Maybe, but when I played Destiny 2 at launch, it also was the same thing of like exact same level structure.
Yeah, I feel like the only time that was really weird, like that idea, is when you're most of the way through a level in Destiny and then you just pop out to an area that's a public zone.
Yeah.
And then it's just like,
yeah,
these guys are just fucking around 3/4 through this level fighting this thing that spawns every so many minutes, and I'm supposed to just beat this level normally. That's when it was really weird.
But God of War, the only thing that I feel is a little weird in that game is when you're going back and like picking up stuff from old areas, like going back to collect things or do submissions you missed. And sometimes it is hard to navigate because it's in some places structured kind of like a Destiny, where it's like this is a large chunk of a linear level you walk through to get to another explorable area.
Yeah.
So that can be a little frustrating.
That sounds like much better first time content, though.
Yes.
Like when you think about it as something you do once.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue until I was at the end of the game. I was like, I'm going to go look for some stuff.
Yeah, the post game and the end of the game things are the only part where it's like, okay, I'm kind of having to run through a lot of area I already went through before.
I guess the analogy you could make is it was pretty cool forwards, but then backwards, it was kind of like if you had to walk backwards through a music video. It's just like, this felt like it had a cadence and a rhythm and a flow forwards, and backwards, this just feels awkward and weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Other than that, I also finished up Pokemon. Got all the legendaries, beat the game.
Cool.
Like, yay.
Yeah.
That's a good Pokemon game.
It is a good Pokemon game.
It's weird.
I've said it. I've watched Chris tweet it multiple times. It is flabbergasting that the same people who made Sword and Shield made that.
Yeah, the only
I am waiting for the Moby Games credits to go up and for people to cross-reference how many people actually worked on both.
That would be interesting. That would be truly interesting. I know they hired a shitload of companies on this one.
Because, if you think about it, Gen 6 was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then Gen 7 was better.
Mm-hmm.
Then Gen 8 was bad. Then Gen 9 was better. So are we coming into like the Call of Duty pattern here?
Yeah, I think the only thing that makes it a little different is Arceus was also this year, and that also had a lot of good points to it.
Yeah.
So it starts to feel like maybe the company's getting better as a whole.
If it makes you feel better, Bob. That's considered Gen 9 by Game Freak, so that's technically the launch of this gen in their opinion, I believe.
I mean, part of
they're weird.
Pokemon's problem is 100%, no doubt, just the same shit that happens to every single Japanese developer when they suddenly have to make an HD game, where they shit their pants and fall over for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Pokemon franchise across the last 10 years, maybe 11, has had to go from 2D to an open world 3D game.
Yeah, that's pretty dramatic.
They're the only people in the industry who had to make this transition in 11 years. Somebody's like, excuse me, Shin Megami Tensei 4. It's like, it's 3D exploration, at least in that, except for the world map, which is still 2D, of course.
Right.
And at least Shin Megami Tensei had a history of being real 3D games prior.
Right, and the spin-offs, yeah. And
Nocturne. Also Nocturne.
So that was more of a yeah. Yeah, I think we may avoid the dip next time, unless my absolute nightmare scenario happens. I'm sure we'll get into this more on other content, but the nightmare version of what they do going forward is the Destiny. I think that would be absolutely terrible. You get your dailies, you have bad global areas, a bunch of people faffing about, a game that's by and large less fun.
This is one of those scary situations where it's like Nintendo never looks at what anybody else is doing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So they might go, well, they might accidentally fall in the Destiny hole from that.
Could you imagine Game Freak's like, what's Destiny? We just made this equally fucked up homunculus. The good version, though, and I'm sure everyone in the podcast network can agree, there is some stuff near the end of Scarlet and Violet you might describe as typical JRPG structure.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love it if the next game is a better looking open world and a game that performs better and has more bespoke segments like that.
Yes, I would. I always, the best Pokemon gens are the ones where it's like, no, we're a JRPG. We remembered. we should have these things like characters and a plot.
Yeah, and I think that would be really, really good. I just want to see that. I can't complain too much about this game not having certain things because they made caves work correctly for caves, which I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah.
One might say that caves stopped being as savage somewhere around 3rd gen. Maybe 4th, I don't know. I feel like 4th was nowhere near as savage as earlier gens when it came to, no, this cave is fucking massive, find your way. I feel like 3rd gen also definitely pulled back on that. This is just a massive cave. It's less a how do I get around because 3D space. You know, they don't 7th gen it up by going, oh, they're tiny stalactites. You can't go there from here. You need to go all the way up this ramp. But it feels good. I enjoy this game. I hope the next one is that sort of thing going forward. Bob, you have any other comments on Pokemon that you want to say here instead of elsewhere?
No, not really.
Okay. You play anything else?
No, that was it. Okay. I didn't have much time to do much. I just finished those 2 games because they're both so big.
I didn't play anything else, but you know what I did see?
What's that?
I watched Retro Island Gaming.
Oh, no.
A man who's mildly older than me play Mario 64 for the first time in his life, and I had no idea that 2022 was going to be such a blessed year for me, a Mario 64 fanatic, to see not one, but 2 of my streamer friends play Mario 64 for the first time in their lives. Because Voxandra also played through Mario 64 recently. Oh my God, what an enjoyable experience. So good. I hope Rig completes the game, but I don't know. It took him about, by the time I stopped watching, about 9 hours to get 22 stars, I think. It was somewhere in the mid-20s or something.
What?
Yeah.
I went to bed after 5 hours, and he had 19. I certainly hope that he got more than 3 stars.
You know what? I'll just check real quick. You know, we want to be factual here on Big Thing to Mention. For people who don't know, Retro Island Gaming's forte is, generally speaking, by and large, DOS retro gaming or 2D retro gaming. He streamed for 13 and a half hours. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I guess I should also clarify for people who don't know, Rig is the other freak on Twitch who streams when he streams for 13 or so hours, just like our death streams. After 13 and a half hours, he has 51 stars. He is so close. Oh my God.
Yeah. At that point, he's got to go back and finish it.
He's got to go back and finish it. He's gotta. That was a delightful stream. I was losing it. It was so good. It was so good. This is a man who I don't think he's had to manage 3D cameras basically ever, dealing with the cryptid that is Mario 64's camera system. So at some point you watch as his brain just goes, no, it's much easier to go to first person, turn, and then zoom out. I loved it. It was so good. It was so good. You cannot buy content that good nowadays. You can't find the people to make stuff that golden. But yeah, aside from that, I edited the Gears video. I wish I had been playing Xenoblade 3, but unfortunately, I put 2 and 2 together and said, well, I'm not making the Gears ranking video by the end of the year.
Yeah. Which
means if it pushes the opportunity for me to play a game out of the year by me doing it right now, that's the correct move anyway. So we're getting it out now. By now, I mean sometime in the next week. So in the next week, hopefully I will be playing Neon White, Xenoblade, and or God of War Ragnarok. We'll see. I'm going to try to give Xenoblade like 8 hours, maybe 10, to see, does the combat system jive with me? Because it's not turn-based. And so there's a myriad of ways it could just be boring.
Yeah.
Or clunky. And I have no idea. But I'm really interested in this compared to every other Xenoblade. I feel like this is the first time since trailers for X that I've been like, I need to try this. And no one bought X, so I wasn't going to buy it. I'm going to buy Xenoblade X. Bob, why didn't you buy Xenoblade Chronicles X?
Because I played Xenoblade 1 on the Wii.
And it's just the peak experience, so you knew that they could only fuck it up from there, right?
No.
Oh.
No, that was, in fact, kind of a nightmare on the original Wii.
Okay. Well, once Game of the Year's out of the way, I'm finally going to take revenge on something that is kind of similar to a Xenoblade Chronicles X. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, the other Wii U JRPG that no one else has played. Everything I saw and experienced from that was really cool, but I never started my own playthrough. And I've had the sealed Switch copy since, as people may or may not know, Bob used to work at GameStop and they liquefied his store. So
yeah, so we got that for somewhat cheap.
Yeah, we got that for somewhat cheap. So I'm pretty excited for that. But
I really want them to put Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Switch because I'm going to play it. And then most likely I'm going to start hunting Xenoblade Chronicles X fans for sport. Because it's going to be like, you Sonic CD'd me. I trusted you. You told me for fucking a decade that this was fucking so hype. Best one in the series, and I picked it up. Now I'm kicking down your door dressed as the hunter from Jumanji.
Certainly, that is not how it will go. How many Sonic CDs can there possibly be? But yeah, that's it for me and Bob. Hey, Chris, what you been playing?
I also beat Pokemon. I chugged the whole thing between last Big Think and this one.
Cool.
Like Dan reiterated me saying, I don't know how you make Sword and Shield and then make this.
It's really inconceivable.
Boy, that game sure runs bad. In a perfect world, they probably should have let Arceus cook for 10 more months and released it in November and just released Scarlet and Violet next year.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
People loved Arceus as well, and also it would have been great if they had more time to have, I don't know, backgrounds to play in.
Or,
environments.
Let's put this another way. Because this is something I only had to consider earlier this week when I made my list. In no world should I have to sit there, sort my top 10 video games and go, which mainline Pokemon entry this year do I give it to? That's stupid. That's hideously stupid. Imagine someone had to do that for God.
You also shouldn't have to be like, what do I put on the list? The game or the prototype of the game they sold me 10 months earlier for $60.
What the fuck? So stupid.
I didn't really have any glitches at all. It just ran bad. I had, I made sure, because I heard so many stories about memory leaks, to shut the game down when I was done playing for the night, not just put the Switch into sleep mode.
Okay.
So that might have helped some.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also didn't touch
Bethesda precautions.
I also didn't touch the online mode at all, so that probably helped, because most glitches and crashes I've seen related to that.
No, Bob. He just closed the game when he was done. He didn't take the Bethesda procedures, which is you enter a clean room, you put on the suit, and now you can play the game.
It is funny how hard you can break the leveling curve in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh yeah.
I did feel bad. Like Team Star grunts would be hanging outside one of their bases, and they'd be like, "What's that?" And I'm like landing in the spaceship like Goku landed on Namek.
Part of me is like, is this just going to lead to a RoboCop dick shooting scene? Like Chris shows up and just shooting Team Star in the crotch. Yeah, no, this game really just goes, whatever, fucking break me, I don't care. It's fucking weird. It is the least difficult Pokemon game in that way.
I'm so happy that Pokemon has characters again.
Yes.
Like even the simple thing of every gym leader also has a day job.
Yeah, I think that the way they made the gym leaders associated with the college and the gym challenge is part of the college entrance, kind of.
It
makes it interesting.
Weird how much it feels like they borrowed from the anime. Because the thing that they do where it's like, no, you don't have to go through like a dungeon and do a bunch of battles. You have to do some weird fucking errand the gym leader wants you to do. reminded me of the anime where Ash always had to do some goofy fucking nonsense before he was allowed to battle the gym leader.
Well, that used to be how they were structured. You would arrive at a town and it'd be like, oh, the gym leader's not here. You got to find out where the gym leader is and do the quests. And this game's completely devoid of that exact thing, but it does have those challenges that the gym leaders will have you do. The only one where technically the gym leader isn't there is the water guy.
Yeah, I was going to say the water guy is basically that.
Yeah, it is basically that. But, a lot of it is just the challenges, go fuck yourself, kid.
Push the olive. Hope it doesn't spawn inside of a person.
I fucking believe that you did that.
I'm kind of stunned that they wrote maybe the most accurate streamer character I've ever seen in anything.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a little too close. And then she dropped the F word. And I was like, oh no, this is laser perfect. This is tuned like a machine. What a monster. I think I was in INO's Discord, actually. The private Discord they used to, exploit their clout and take advantage of people.
Oh, no.
And I was like, this person's a monster, right? We all see this?
One, it's good how accurate they were to like the VTuber type thing. Two, this game offers a terrifying view of a reality where like you could go to the store and Corone would just be walking around there.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Also, they establish like all the characters before you meet them usually.
Mm-hmm.
They have characters say, no, I have a team of really strong Pokemon. This is for the test. Of course I'm not.
Yeah, this isn't my best.
I love that. Especially when your rival's like, ha ha ha, I picked these up just now. So that way this is fair. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, great Pokemon. Best one they've made since 5th Gen Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited for the next one. I hope it's building off of this and not some weird, we have 2 teams, so this one's like a weird step back.
I'm going to walk into the ocean. It didn't even occur to me. So the next game's handled by none of the same people. Oh my God. I think they have really good Pokemon designs this time. Like the new designs and the new designs are both really excellent.
Yes, Tinkaton gonna be in contention for this year's Scrimblow of the Year award.
That's true.
Yeah, she's on like my top 10 best Pokemon designs. It's really strong.
Wow. How many entered that pantheon? Like that legendary tier from this gen? Is it really just Tinkaton?
Probably just her, but there are really good ones in here though.
There are really good ones.
I don't some of the stuff
some,
near the end.
Yeah, some of the stuff near the end's unfucking hinged and we can't talk about.
I got Scarlet.
He got Scarlet. I got Violet. And
I really like the ones in Violet near the end.
Oh yeah, but there's one from Scarlet near the end that's just, oh man.
There's at least 2 in there that I'm like, oh wow. I might need to reset my whole team. They gave us too many good fairy types this gen. What's wrong with them?
They did a great job with type representation this gen, where there's just so many ghosts.
Yeah.
There's so many great new Pokemon this gen.
Like Mankey's evolution is unfucking hinged in my spirit animal. So good.
Which one?
I don't want to spoil it.
Mankey.
Mankey. Yeah. I don't want to spoil the name. I want people to run into that.
Yeah, I think I used almost exclusively new Pokemon. I think I had Bronzong. I think that's the only one that wasn't a new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had never used Bronzong before, and I'm like, well, I need a Psychic type.
Yeah, I ended up getting Bob's Armor Rouge armor, so that way, because that's a Fire Psychic instead of Ceruledge, which is the Violet version, which is a Ghost Fire. Because I needed something for Psychic too.
Yeah, I got the Psychic Bird they added, which is really good. Like that is a really good bird. Espathra, okay.
Yeah, because it has ESP.
Mm-hmm.
I learned the secret tech of Bronzong having Heavy Slam, the move that is like, it does more damage based on the weight difference. And I'm like, but Bronzong weighs 8 tons.
What a good gen. It is so easy.
Other than that, I played Shadow Warrior 3, the game I bought for $4 less than a year after its release.
Man, this is a roller coaster. We hit that high and now we're all the way down here.
Shadow Warrior 3 is fucking terrible.
Is it the worst? Is it the most disappointing thing since your son?
No, because I didn't have any high expectations of it.
Okay, fair.
When it was obvious from like pre-release footage that it was we have Doom Eternal at home, and then nobody talked about it ever.
It didn't happen.
I had a pretty good idea of how that was going to go. Okay, so imagine Doom Eternal. You move slow.
Oh, what?
You don't jump high. Your air dash doesn't go very far.
Why?
The guns aren't responsive.
Come on now.
The glory kills take way too fucking long and have weird mechanics stapled onto them in addition to just being glory kills. Also, the platforming that they stuck in is bad and really badly done.
You'd think with this weird, like, goofy version of Doom Eternal, with its comedy focused, it would go in the opposite direction for most of this stuff. Like, no, they'd wildly make everything, like, take you way too far. Like, your dash would just be wonky how far it goes. You'd move too fast to control.
Yeah.
And well, maybe it would be those things if I had played more, because you get character upgrade points.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't play far enough to get a significant amount of those. I only played about 90 minutes, which is apparently 30% of the game, from what I've been told.
Just imagining. Chris is like, I didn't upgrade my balance, so every time I did an air dash, I bailed.
It just sucks. And it's like, I don't need... Stop having characters talk to themselves. Just fucking stop it. Just stop it. Just cut it out. It's not funny. It's not funny for Lo Wang to go to hum the Spider-Man theme as he does the fucking grappling hook. That's not funny.
It's authentic to Shadow Warrior, though, where it's just like, I'm going to say the funny joke. This is why you bought this game.
No, to be authentic to Shadow Warrior, he would have to say a slur.
Look, the comedy changed. Before it was haha Asians, and now it's haha it was Spider-Man. Remember Spider-Man? I've got plenty of things in this drawer. Let me just pull it out. And then he just starts doing a Rick and Morty impersonation out of nowhere.
All the weapons reload. I don't understand why you're trying to be Doom Eternal. When I say like trying to be Doom Eternal, like I mean like down to your weapons have no ammo, you have to constantly switch to something else to make enemies spit out ammo.
If I was making a bootleg Doom Eternal, that's the last thing I would take, because that is hard to balance.
Yeah.
It's honestly even worse than Doom Eternals, because your shotgun starts with 12 fucking shells.
I'm trying to remember how much that had.
Yeah, I think you start with 16 in Doom Eternal, and you can get up to 24.
There's definitely a layer where you put up with any stress the ammo system in Doom Eternal puts upon you, because the rest of the game is so euphoric and well-tuned. So even if it is like, I wish I had some ammo right now, Jesus Christ, it's fine. So that's the last thing you should steal from it.
Yeah, and a lot of the guns in Doom Eternal feel good to use, where I doubt any of them do in Shadow Warrior.
None of the guns I got, and I got 4, I think. But yeah, they don't feel good. And the glory kill, I say glory kill, but it's like a fusion of glory kill with the chainsaw. Except it doesn't give you a specific resource back.
Weird.
So it is like neither of them.
I wish I knew the lore of that guy. How about you, Bob?
No.
Okay. I'm just sorry.
Instead, you have a meter and it has 2 bars. Maybe you get more later on, but that's your finisher bar. And they say finisher, but you can just walk up to an enemy with full health and pop it.
I guess you finished them in a sense.
Yes.
And it seems each enemy gives you a different benefit from using the finisher on them. The most low tier enemies gives you a health overcharge of 100 points.
Okay.
Which seems like a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Using it on the slightly bigger enemies gives you like a freeze grenade. Using it on the first big enemy you run up on gives you like the gravity hammer from Halo, and also the finisher animation on those guys are really funny because it's like the slowest animation I've ever seen. Lo Wang really lethargically punches their arm, which cuts it off, then picks up the bone of the arm because they have like a hammer for a hand, and then he really slowly bonks them with it and they die. And then you have that hammer for a little while. It doesn't have charges, it has a timer. And also it feels really bad to use. And then there's some fucking like Cacodemon-esque enemy where you get like a time grenade or some fucking mechanical thing that does some shit I can't even remember. I already quit playing and uninstalled it.
Did you refund it? Was that possible? Did you go $4 back?
I bought it from like a CD key site who were liquidating their fucking stock of this game. It was like, we thought people would want this. We were wrong.
What do you think? Whatever.
I also started playing Eastward because that came out on Game Pass today. Eastward is a sprite art game made by I forget the name. It's a Shanghai-based studio. I named like Pix Palace, I think is what they're called. Let me make sure that's the right name.
Okay.
Pix
I'll be right
Pill. I didn't know what kind of game this was because everyone's like, no, it's an adventure game. It's an adventure game. And I'm like, no, it's like Zelda. That's not an adventure game. Adventure game means a different fucking thing.
Yeah. The more and more we start using these genre titles, the more weird they get.
I thought this game would be like maybe 4 hours long because it's immaculate looking sprite art. Like it's like if
this looks great. Jeez.
Have you ever looked at Mother 3?
Uh-huh.
It's like if you just stepped that up like 3 levels.
Yeah, this looks really great. And you say it plays like Zelda?
Yeah, it plays like Zelda. Like you have health, but you have health bar, you have like the hearts, and you have dungeons where you get weapons. Although I think you end up you get goofy things and eventually like guns.
Okay. Yeah, the preview pictures are only showing guns pretty much.
This is apparently like fucking 20 hours long. Whoa. Apparently, because I'm trying to remember if the publisher is this person or if they also or if they just somehow got both of these games. Chucklefish is the publisher.
Yeah, and
they publish Stardew Valley, so they must have more money than God.
That would do it. Yeah, you publish Stardew Valley and you just get infinite money.
So they must have just pumped this game full of money. I don't see how you could get these like these many assets that otherwise. I've only put about an hour into it, but it seems really neat. Apparently there's an entire mini game that apparently you can play through the whole game. That's just a Dragon Quest game.
Weird.
They made their own Dragon Quest game. Well, because the kids in the town are playing it. So your side character, who is like a child, can also play it. So they just included a small Dragon Quest game in their game.
And you just boot that up separately at any time, or is it something you play in the environment?
You have to go to it in the environment.
Okay. Weird.
I don't know if I'll beat it before the end of the year because 20 hours and there's so many other things I have to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely excited to check it out more. I thought this was the first time it came out. I didn't know it came out on Switch and PC in September. I didn't hear a single person talk about it. So if you have Game Pass, I don't know if it's PC Game Pass. It might only be console Game Pass. But if you have it, check it out. Because if nothing else, it looks fucking gorgeous.
Is it on PlayStation as well, or is this just it came out on Game Pass on Xbox?
Yet.
Okay.
It came out on Game Pass on Xbox, and in September it came out on Switch and PC.
I forgot Rogue Legacy 2 on my fucking list.
Yeah, Sony just clearly isn't interested in securing these kind of indie games. Like, they don't even try.
Yeah, something's not working over there.
Because there's so many indie games like this isn't really high profile, but there's no reason this shouldn't be on PlayStation unless you're just producing obstacles for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I play. Do not under any circumstances play Shadow Warrior 3.
Call out to the viewers. This is a call to action. Write in the comment section, or if you're watching live right now, write it in chat. Is The Last Hero of Nostalgaia? See, it's like nostalgia, but they added an A to make it Nostalgaia. Is that a game I should check out? Has anyone played it? Let me know. Anyway. Podlords.
Oh no! I mean,
oh fuck.
Okay.
Podlords, baby. Podlords, baby.
Here, I thought the Podlords might sound more festive. I guess not.
Nope. Not this time. Maybe next time. If I say ho ho ho, the Podlords, will that?
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay, one moment. I'm definitely not changing anything.
Do the Podlords have a machine gun?
They might. Yes, that's right. Ho, 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 fuck the Podlords for Big Think Dimension number 199. And I just realized something that's going to make this fun. Shooting from the waist, baby. Let's go. Oh, my God. Today.
This is going to be
yes,
great.
that's right, the Podlords. Podlords such as E. Lee Broyles, Corey Brown. I assure you that becoming the president of the dystopian United States is a part of the plan.
All right. Sure.
Oh, that's Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, it's right. It's the 5th Resident Evil film. Bob's like, I knew this, definitely.
I did.
Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Emperor Zero, Shibuya Gato, Rado. That's true. That Pokemon on my team's named Rado because he's my raid Pokemon. 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered, WTF Spider-Man, BN12, Shiny Mew.
They're very fast, I guess?
Did you guys see who showed up in the new Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer?
Oh my God.
Can you see him? He's right there. It's like, where's Walden? I sees him. DFW 3K. What if we just give the rail barons everything they want? Surely this will be good for America. I'm just not sure I can trust him as his eyes glow like that. I don't know. Is that just me?
Yeah, probably is too.
Okay. Kristen. Mariah Carey whack. Pudurus whack. Karnov is tight as fuck because it's Karnovember, baby. Actually, that ended as of today. You should have done
Karnovember.
Oh, Karnovember. Think about it, Podlord. Kyle Bjork. Iron Aggro. Blig the Blue. Schlig this Poo. Monster Hunter Ryzen and Raiden. Hi. Hello.
I'm worried.
Fine.
It is one day into December. Cooper Tank. Waiting patiently for the Kamen Rider Black Sun spoiler cast.
Yeah, you will be waiting a while.
Introducing Game Awards 2022's new co-host, G.O.R.E.
So if Troy Baker shows up at these, I need whoever is watching at the time to very quickly turn his hair silver.
Oh my god. That'd be so good. True gamers listen to at least 9,000 minutes of GigaBoots content each year. Oh, this is a lot.
That's a lot.
That is content value.
So Big Think average is 150 minutes and one a week. So that's around 7,800. And I guess we usually do a 60-minute week. Okay, it's possible. That's upsetting that we make that much.
Yes, we make about that much or more.
The true horror is that we make that much. That's for sure. Indigo Sykes. Drive typecast. Tell me, what does chuggy mean?
I don't know. Nobody knows. Why did they pick that?
It's the most Padaru time of the year, and we're only 19 hours into it.
No escape now, gamers.
A raccoon making a sandwich for Koraidon.
I don't think he wants to give it to Koraidon, but he will.
He better. That dude might eat the raccoon. I am once again asking you to play Hyper Demon, the amazing sequel to Devil Daggers.
Please, there was so many games.
I know, I just raised my list to 17. 17 games in the next 30. There's no way.
Many.
There's so many. The mind is willing, but the flesh. Getting fiber optic internet installed at my new apartment. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I really wish I had fiber optic internet.
Yeah.
One might even say I might move to get fiber optic internet.
You look very exhausted.
It was a GIF. Yeah. Some part of this might have looked less exhausted than the rest because that's not how Podlords work. I don't download the image and then crop a circle out of it. This is how this works. Anyways, the Super Mim. Raichin Karya's true plan was to keep the Hard M too tired from working video games to change his bit. Sarah Lean. The artist at Game Freak when thinking of what to do for Dunsparce's new evolution.
That's also what they did for the regional Whooper.
Yes.
Yes.
I love the Dunsparce so much. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Bearded Joe, Cleochrome, Krunglespum, Noodle. Oh shit. 2 Corones and... Oh wait, Krunglespum had this cute picture.
Oh, hey.
This is adorable. Thank you, Krunglespum, for the cute picture. And the second most disgusting animated barf scene. The third is when they did it in reverse. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords.
This is how Florida looks in December.
Thank you, Podlord.
Yeah,
And
we
if
can't
you'd
change
like
it.
It's true. It's true. Don't worry. Don't worry. In like 50 years, December in Florida will look like the bottom of the ocean.
That's true.
Yes.
But if you'd like to support us and become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcasts. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to Chugging Bleach and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review shows. One wherein we review all of Bleach, and you can listen to our backlog and find out why Jin Karya keeps coming up in these fucking podcasts we do. And Pokemon Go to the Movies, where we review every Pokemon movie. Yes, even that fucked up 3D one eventually. And I guess even Detective Pikachu eventually.
Yes. In fact, I already got the Blu-ray.
Very excited.
It is right in front of me.
You also get extended versions of shows or cut content from shows that didn't make it into the final versions. And you get a patron exclusive show one a month where you get to vote on what good or hideous thing we have to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/GB podcast. And if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to rate us on Thursdays before Twitch removes that feature. Like this video right now if you're listening on YouTube, or if you're listening through a podcast app, be sure to leave us a favorable review and tell us how we changed your life in a positive way. Not in a way that maybe Kanye West is going through right now. Not that way. A positive way, though. Patreon.com/GB podcast.
/GB podcast.
So the sandwich game in the new Pokemon, where you have to make the sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who like plays that game and is like, that's not enough things at all.
For a sandwich?
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
I'm like, no. The ham sandwich needs more than 3 slices of ham.
Yes, when you're making a full sub, it's insanity to do that.
Yeah, that sandwich is like 70% bread.
Yes,
if not higher. It's dire.
What do you mean you only have 3 pickles? That's not how that should go at all.
Also, when you put in the egg or chicken salad or whatever, it's just a disc. I'm like, who in what world do you put a disc in the middle of your sub sandwich that doesn't cover the whole thing?
Where's pork roll? Do you think they're going to add sandwiches that have pork roll on it? DLC.
Pork roll DLC.
I don't know what caused this recent resurgence in me being like, I still haven't eaten pork roll. I should eat it. Which I believe Voxandra from twitch.tv/Voxandra says it's also called Taylor ham. That's another name for the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, because Taylor's a brand name for it. So
okay.
Man, I really want. I would also, as someone who not anymore, used to eat fried bologna fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't. I would also like to eat pork roll.
Someday we'll get there.
Yeah, I think they still sell it here. Like
what?
Because I bought it at Publix.
Yeah,
when I bought it, that was.
But is that the real deal?
I'm pretty sure it was Taylor brand and everything.
It's the thing you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I looked at pictures, it looked the same. Weird ham slices or
was it frozen or
no? It wasn't frozen.
Was it fresh?
It was. In the refrigerated section.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like
I'm not like, is this shelf stable bologna?
It's like it's a highly salted meat like Spam. We're not worried about it going bad.
I know I'm Floridian, but I'm not looking at meat. Is it shelf-stable? I need this. This is important. I'm just keep it in my bedroom, and anytime I get hungry, open the can and eat a little bit more. Put it back. You're like, hey, that's not how most shelf-stable things work. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Anyway, Aggro has some news here. I'm going to read it. I'm a big fucking dumb shit with a normal job who is sick.
Really similar to his last week's news.
Yeah, it is. So thank you, Aggro, for bringing some news, even though you couldn't make it yourself. I did not write any news. Here's news. The fucking Gears ranking videos coming out. That's some fucking news. Let's go to Bob. Bob.
Okay, let's see here.
Technically, I could have gotten this first story, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah. They announced the second Street Fighter 6 closed beta is happening. It's going to be December 16th, so you can go register now and hope to get in. I think they sent out the emails if you got in like the 13th or the 14th. There aren't new characters to play, but there is a new graphics setting that's supposed to reduce input lag. They say it worked especially well on 120 hertz televisions and monitors, but they don't say it runs at the higher frame rate.
Mm-hmm. So either it has a frame rate that is not 120 perfect, or it's just taking a 60 hertz game and outputting it at 120 hertz, which will give you more like a responsive game.
Right.
Thank fucking Christ. What? this seemed like the thing I yelled about at the beginning of this gen that no one would do. Because for whatever reason, Insomniac's the only people who are crazy enough to be like, we can just output at 120 and I'll feel better. That's great.
Yeah, it's really nice to see Street Fighter doing this.
Yes.
They are
that means
primo.
It could become standard.
Yes, it's a primo fighting game. Like, it is the one everyone will be looking to.
Also, like, they are the 8 frames of lag game.
Yes.
5 gave them a bad rep, so this coming out here with the 120 hertz mode is very, very smart.
Ed Boon being like, God damn it, now we have to put that in our next game.
He's like, can we still get the ray tracing in? And his tech artists are like, no. Why?
It's like, well, I don't want to have a non-ray traced one. It's like, we have to ship on the Series S. You have to.
Yeah, that actually is a good point. We had yet another game come out where it's like there's no ray tracing mode on the Series S. Does that make sense? Like, ray tracing's hard.
Yeah, what was it this time?
I can't fucking remember. It's such a nonstop avalanche.
Yeah, because I know Gotham Knights was something like that.
It wasn't that. It was something way more recent. So it was maybe Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh, yeah, probably Warzone 2.
Or some other recent game.
I think Plague Tale had the same thing.
It might be Evil West. Evil West totally has ray tracing on...
There's no way.
Maybe it was Evil West. Maybe there's... I don't know. There are too many to keep track of.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Vengeful Guardian Moonrider got a launch date, January 12th, 2023. So that's really close.
What is this?
This is that 2D pixel art game that's inspired by Ninja Gaiden and made by the people who did
Hagane-like.
Yes, Hagane-like. It's made by the guys who did Oniken and Odalis.
Oh, I'm glad that game isn't coming out this year.
Yes, thank God.
And Blazing Chrome.
Blazing Chrome, that was the last one. I was trying to remember. So that looked really good.
I need to literally DM that guy on Twitter and be like, thank you for pushing it back 2 weeks. This means the world to me. Because it does.
Wow.
It's rough.
Last year we got a mid ninja game coming out in January, and this in 2023 we'll get a good ninja game coming out in January.
Yeah, 2022 is really lacking a mid ninja game coming out in January. We should have had one in between the two. Bob, do you even remember?
Yeah, of course I remember that mid-ninja game. It was so mid it hurt. I was very sad. So I'm excited to have Blazing Chrome here. Sorry. Moonrider here to fix it.
If only it was Moon Salt, though. That would really...
I wonder if that other cool-looking Pixar Ninja game's coming out next year. God, what was it called? It kickstarted a while ago.
Don't know.
Very Strider-inspired.
Not a clue.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Or someone in chat will put it in there in the comments or something.
Probably.
Bushiden?
Yes.
Sounds too bougie for me.
Yeah, that was kickstarted a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember hearing recently that it was very close, so maybe.
Yeah, just like, next year's probably going to be the sequel to Bloodstain. Just stealth drop. They're going to be like, hey, we've been working on it the whole time. It's now a quadruple A Sony first-party game.
Oh, my.
Iga got $100 million.
Jesus. We aren't ready. It'd be too good.
I know. It'd be like if fucking the director of Ifnabe Shin, the director of Excel Saga, got MCU money for a film. The world's not ready.
The MCU is like, we need to really expand our market. We don't know what to do, though. We feel like we've hit the end of all of these different arcs we've set up for all these series.
we should hand it to this guy.
Yes, we just hand it to Nabishin. See what he does.
Weird that the most important Marvel character is now Nabishin as he solves every fucking problem in MCU phase. What are we on? 4?
It's probably like 5.
I think we're on 4. I think they announced stuff for 5, but we're still in 4. I don't actually know. I don't need to worry about knowing that until we watched our first one movie in a single day video.
Like the Guardians Volume 3 ends with the Guardians just opening up some bay that was in their ship, and Nabishin rolls out being completely filthy, like some 60-year-old Japanese man.
It's great because he's gonna have flashbacks to that thing that was stolen from that anime, Galaxy Express 999, where the lady in the iron mask.
Jesus.
Anyways, we're done with that. The Excel Saga jokes are over. You should all watch it. If you haven't, then you're a disappointment. Hey, Bob.
We also got the announcement of Summer Game Fest 2023. It's coming back. Of course it is. It sounds like it's going to be a one-day event, June 8th. It's in person and online streaming from the YouTube Theater in Los Angeles. So, just one big Jeff Keighley event. Fine. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's fine. Because for people who don't know, E3's back.
Yeah.
So we're going to be dealing with that and this. So I'm glad it's one day.
Yeah, so it seems like those are probably going to hit almost the exact same time.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I actually forgot to write in my news, Tetris Grandmaster actually came out.
Yeah, I saw that came out this morning, and I was like, I need to buy that and play it, but I don't have time.
Yeah, after this, I should have time. I have to watch a video I made for 1 hour and 47 minutes to make sure an encoder didn't break or any number of other problems. Like, as you don't understand, one of the last things it did was replace an entire music file with just insanely loud static. That was so loud you couldn't hear anything else. It was infinitely loud. Making videos is a nightmare. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tetris Grandmaster is on the PlayStation Network. It should be on the eShop by now. Go check it out. Bob, are you excited for Summer Game Fest?
Yes, of course. I'm always excited for these things. No matter how bad they are and continue to be and keep beating me, I will always be excited to watch them.
I do love watching conferences.
That award show next week is going to have a bunch of awards I don't care about and are really bad. But there might be something cool. Heck, Tekken 8's going to be there. We're going to get to see more Tekken 8. That's hype.
That is hype.
You might even get some sort of launch date.
I mean, you're talking about the Game Awards. We're probably going to see Wolverine.
Oh man, we might.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, we're gonna see, and Xbox is gonna show up and show a game that'll never come out.
We'll get to see his new CG trailer for Fable.
That's almost certainly what it's going to be.
I hope we don't get a single CG trailer from Xbox. I'm just gonna be mad. I'm so tired of it.
We'll see another Hellblade 2 segment that seems completely unrelated to the one we saw last year.
I will be amused. But I will not be mad about them doing that unless the segment is peak Ninja Theory and it's like, oh no, in order to get past this part, you're gonna have to get into the fetal position and cry because a man hurt you once emotionally. That's when I would start screaming.
A man hurt you and it made you vulnerable in a way that's appealing to me, to meme.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that would actually get me.
Anyway.
I am so excited for the Game Awards next week. We're going to be live here on Twitch ahead of the Game Awards to do some last-minute premonitions and the Game Awards and follow-up episode of Big Think Dimension. So Aggro better be dressed like this because that's how he's gonna feel
when we're done at midnight or 1
fucking hour stream. It's gonna be so good.
I'm super hyped. That'll be our first time doing any sort of premonitions live.
Oh yeah, it'll go flawlessly.
Yes, always.
I just have to find the very custom sound I made for the beginning of Gamer Premonitions. Gamer Premonitions is the funniest shit in the world because the songs from that podcast are in a video game that people should know, but it's so heavily processed, even hardcore fans would never identify it. Anyway,
what's up?
You know, much like death streams, I feel like our conference watching streams have a similar boldness and bravery to it. Where it's just like, no, we enjoy this. If we didn't, we wouldn't do it. There's something truly enjoyable about, okay, you have our attention, earn it.
We rolled out a really bad band.
99% of the time, that is true. But there's shit that pushes it, like the fucking Netflix Geeked Week.
Yeah, that felt exploitative. I'm never covering that again.
Yeah, no.
Whenever they're... See, I can handle any amount of bad talking about video games.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're like, here's some upcoming footage from Queen's Gambit Season 4, I start to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Point B's great. Don't get me wrong. I would have played Point B regardless, Chad. Don't worry. But they don't get our... We got DMCA'd, and that conference was mostly them just trying to get us interested in their shows instead of actual games.
Right.
I'm not covering it again for those two reasons. But please look forward to Dan's sponsored, or Dan Presents Best Mobile Game of the Year segment featuring Point B for Game of the Year. Anyway, hey Bob, what's next on the news?
A crossover I don't think anyone saw coming. Destiny 2 x Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So we're getting crossover items in both games. So you get armors and stuff from Destiny in Assassin's Creed, and vice versa.
I was going to compare it to two bands that haven't been relevant in 20 years touring together, and I'm like, no, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I have friends who I had friends who like got completely lost to Destiny to the point where like they stopped doing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I just look at Destiny, I'm like, how?
I enjoyed Destiny 1 a lot. Destiny 2. Maybe it's better now. I mean, that thing, the trailers they showed for the thing next year looks really good.
Yes.
It's got a hook shot. It's a different game now.
That comes out December 6th. For both games. So that's how many days? 5 days.
From now, you get your years late crossover.
And this is the final update for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's it. It's over forever. I don't know why they wanted to go out with this of all things, but they did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to write down. Ubisoft also announced a Far Cry 6 DLC, which is like Doctor Strange. Like you go to some weird multiverse.
What?
And they do the Doctor Strange effect where there's multiple, like, say, kaleidoscope houses.
Why does every Far Cry game ship, and then later they ship the cool, fucked up idea that could have been the game?
I don't know.
Why are they such cowards? Please
Except
just
for
make
4. 4 just got Primal.
That's true, but that's dinosaurs are kind of cracked out in the grand scheme of AAA games where they won't do anything.
I don't think there were dinosaurs. I think it was realistic, so it was just like mammoths and shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Even mammoths and stuff is kind of
outside the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's enough, I guess.
It has a really great personality. No shit.
Well, obviously you got to do the Far Cry Primal Death Stream. You got to play Dripless Horizon.
Why would I do that?
No.
Turok is right over there, and it's the good version.
How can Horizon be more boring?
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
You got more news?
Yes, Starship Troopers Extermination, a PC game, was announced. Comes out next year.
I had to go and check if the devs of this were non-English speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Because what a bizarre choice of IP.
Yeah. What did you find out?
Oh, they're just Canadian.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just like, so are they going to address the fact that you're basically like warmongering psychos working for a fascistic state? Like, are they going to go into that? Or is this going to be like, haha, kill bug?
Yeah, I don't know. But this is a 12-player co-op game where you fight bugs and complete objectives in squads of 4.
All right.
So I guess 3 different squads of 4 work to complete stuff in a larger area.
Okay.
It sounds like that's
neat.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds like an exciting gameplay dynamic. Like,
yeah,
it's not
a battle royale.
Yeah, it's not a battle royale. It's not the weird asymmetric multiplayer thing that's getting more popular.
Is that getting more popular? I feel like there's been a success over the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's
that game is Nintendo Land.
There's like a dozen Dead by Daylight clones, but
isn't it funny that Nintendo Land was packed in with the Wii U and it will never show up on a best sold Nintendo games list ever? It's the only Pac-Man game where it's like, that'll never happen. Like, think about that. Think about all the others where it's like Wii Sports, 120 million copies sold. Nintendo Land, 6.
Yeah. It's nice to have a game there to be
12?
metrics.
Yeah, it's probably like, Jesus Christ.
Just let us see from afar how well the Wii U sold.
Look at that shit. I hear it plays Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Nice.
Apparently, worldwide sales of the Wii U is 13.5 million.
Yeah, it's bad. It's Xbox original bad.
Ooh,
it's down there.
I think Xbox original sales were like double.
Yeah. But like in the grand scheme of consoles that shipped from a major party, those are like the bottom ones. And then the Vita's like, hello, I clowned on you too, and yet people make fun of me more.
It's like sitting down there with a fucking Master System, the Sega console nobody ever played.
Yes, the Master System, or as I like to call it, a console invented by retro gaming YouTubers.
Yeah, when I started hearing about that actually hit the US from retro game YouTubers, I was flabbergasted.
Bob's like, bullshit.
I've never met a single person in my life who owned one.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Some dude in JoJo has this fucked up stand where he's like, if you can't name a classic game from the Master System, you die. And he has a 100% victory rate.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's say that Sonic is off limits. Bob.
Space Harrier.
Oh, God damn it.
The terrible hyper crushed ports down from the Genesis don't count.
I'm gonna say Golgo. Wasn't there a Golgo game? I think there's a Golgo game.
There might be a Golgo game. Who could disprove you? You can say anything, really.
Guys, you can't just say Alex Kidd. You have to say the full title. One moment. I'm looking this up. Is there a Golgo Master System game? Yeah, there's a Golgo 13 game on the Master System that's just called Golgo 13.
See,
there we go.
This is a great, actually, this right now is a great chance for Sega to bring back Alex Kidd. They need to make like a really low fidelity 3D, 2D game, ray trace it, and call it Alex Kidd in Ray Traced World.
No, that actually is brilliant, and they should do that, and they should hire us to do that, and it will be made in Unreal Engine, and it will run about as well as Cyberpunk.
We're only selling this to people who have 4090s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Alex Kidd has been cursed and turned to gold, so light scatters off him.
See, the best part is, Bob, we don't need it to only run on the 4090. You want to know why? Because the game's going to run in 640 by 480 and upscale nearest neighbor to fill your 4K
in my head,
display.
it's just like outside of the ray tracing, it just had the visual fidelity of like Mega Man powered up.
Oh, that's way higher than I was thinking. I was thinking like Doom.
Oh my God.
Like a voxel Doom game.
Can we at least get Quake 2?
No.
Okay.
No, that's too high.
Jesus.
Yeah, that'd be good. Anyways. Hey Bob, I hear you have news that's real and new.
Yes, this is from right after
actually we
broadcast last week.
I didn't get to say this about Starship Troopers.
Oh no?
I think someone else got the rights to the RoboCop game and they went, fuck, we're doing that now? And then they had to get the rights to the Starship Troopers games because they're just getting all the games from that director.
Maybe.
So that means Total Recall's next, right?
That would be really good.
That would be.
It does use the movie designs, which I guess have been
they've been popularized for like 20 years. So.
Yeah. So it would be weird if they came up with their own designs and went back to something that's like art from the illustrations for the books.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I tried watching that anime of Starship Troopers once. It was real bad, so I just stopped.
Okay, good to know. Not that I was ever going to give it a chance. That wasn't even bad content ideas levels of chance, which means it's coming in lower than that Mass Effect anime.
Maybe I'd like it more going back. You know what? We should go back.
You see this shit?
It's from the 80s.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for warning me. I'm glad we won't have to do that. We should do that. That's not what I said. Damn it. Let's move on to the news that just barely escaped us last week and yet won't leave us alone.
Yeah, it happened the day after Big Think last week. Politico, a politics website, reported on the FTC is likely to file an antitrust lawsuit to stop the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of anonymous sources that they reference, but they're like a real, very serious website that wouldn't just make stuff up.
Right. And a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, Politico, a lot of their thing is verifying like sources and not just editorial. But, you know, I don't read them regularly, but yeah, no, it sounds like that thing I literally talked about when this was announced of, man, if the FTC woke up.
Yes, and luckily they seem to be waking up all year long.
It feels good, because while a bunch of people in the game industry are really fucking stupid about this topic, and I mean really fucking stupid, all you have to say at the end of the day is, so you want the third most powerful company in the world to buy nearly a fifth of the game industry, or you think that's okay? Either one of those, you're either apathetic or a psychopath.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, that's it, right? Because this isn't complicated, and it wouldn't be complicated if every place around you weren't so hell-bent on, we need to treat both sides equally. Sony got to buy a single developer, so Microsoft gets to buy literally innumerable IPs and thousands of people's jobs.
Yep.
Because
Microsoft gets to make the second largest acquisition in human history. Literally, the only one bigger is fucking
Disney
buying Fox.
Right.
Yeah.
This isn't complicated. It's not. The fact we've had to have this conversation for years now is so insane.
Do you think like Phil Spencer's just gnashing his teeth at fucking David Zaslav because you know that Discovery buying WB and immediately beginning to run it into the ground is making the FTC go, maybe not?
See, I don't know if the FTC cares about media companies yet. I think they sincerely are doing this because it's Microsoft, because the Silicon Valley giants are the most powerful companies, the richest companies in the world. If Apple was doing it, they would also be knocking their teeth in. But, you know, Apple does this thing. It's crazy. They pay for other people to make a thing, and then they own that thing, and then they show it on their on their streaming service. Isn't that a crazy concept for your subscription model where you pay someone to make a thing and now you own the thing?
This report also had like little tidbits of like Apple and Google are also pushing behind the scenes. Like, no, don't let them do this.
Say that again.
Part of this report was also that like behind the scenes, Google and Apple are like saying, we don't think you should let Microsoft do this.
Right. Yeah. No, it's so good when you watch the people who actively rule over all this shit just break each other down.
Yeah.
You know, like the government should be doing it all points in time period, because at no point does letting a company get this rich benefit the US government or the public.
Yeah. Part of that report was also the anonymous sources saying this could happen this month.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that seems likely. I mean, we did have the leak earlier that was on the agenda. Mm-hmm. So having this article come out and say multiple sources says it's going to be soon. Yeah. Well, thank you, Bob, for the news for the FTC MSAB segment. We now go to Chris Wolfhard.
Monster Hunter Rise is coming to Xbox and PlayStation January 20th. It will not have cross-save or cross-play.
Oh, come on.
Why not cross-play? Cross-save, I'm like, okay, that sucks, but no cross-play?
I don't know.
Fucking come on.
Isn't the weird thing where, like, Sunbreak isn't even out till later next year?
No, it's not out till later.
Yeah, so because when I heard that there was going to be another large DLC, it's like, no, it's just Sunbreak, but now they get it. I'm like, oh, that's why.
It's also going to be it's also going to be Game Pass Day 1.
How many Capcom things have been Game Pass Day 1? I don't think there have been that many.
very few.
Because for people who don't, haven't been watching Big Think for years, they put out their sales data for Xbox like around 2019 or 2020, and it was really bad.
Maybe that's why they're doing it.
They're taking the deal.
Yeah, they're taking the deal because it's like we'll make something.
It's also just like it feels like ports to Xbox 2 years after game came out on other platforms is like destined for Game Pass.
Yeah, that's true. That's the way you would do it.
We got details on a post-launch content for Sonic Frontiers.
Cool.
Most of it is meaningless nonsense. It's like we're putting in a photo mode, we're putting in a jukebox.
Oh, they're putting in Sonic's birthday.
Yeah, which is in the summer, so I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do something goofy there.
It just made me think of that video.
Yeah, I'm having night terrors right now of the image I fucking put up every time we stream a Sonic game. Oh my god.
They're doing some kind of extra challenge mode that, from the graphic, seems like it might have leaderboard times.
Ooh.
But the only important one is the very end, where you will get new playable characters and new story content, and the image implies the playable characters will be Amy, Tails, Knuckles, and maybe Sage.
That's cool. That sounds like good work for going forward.
Yeah.
Yes, like if nothing else, it's like finally the curse has been finally broken. You can play as someone in a Sonic game other than Sonic. We're no longer stuck in the fucking curse pit that Sonic 4 put us in.
Oh man, Sonic 4.
The last main Sonic, not counting Mania, which isn't a main Sonic game. The last main Sonic game where you got to play as anybody other than Sonic was Heroes.
God.
No,
really?
it was 06. It was 06.
Okay, I was going to say, 06 you get to play as the other hedgehogs.
Unless you want to be really fucking pedantic and say, well, Forces put out a bad DLC where Shadow was playable. That was 5 minutes long.
Well, that is like around 30% of the length of that whole game, so.
It's true. The only game shorter than Sonic Forces is Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Yes.
Yeah, and which is about the same length as Kirby 64.
That's the bottom three: Resident Evil 3 Remake, Sonic Forces, and Vanquish.
We should announce a stream, Bob. And the stream is allegedly all these games are short, so we called it the shortest stream ever, and we estimate based on what people say this stream should be 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it's 4 games. It's Sonic Forces, Resident Evil 3, Kirby 64, like what other game that's allegedly short as hell but isn't? Vanquish again. It's a fucking 20-hour stream nightmare.
Yeah.
Goodbye Volcano High has been delayed till summer 2023. I don't think this game's coming out.
That isn't a delay. You took a thing that just patently didn't exist anymore and you said, "Oh, we pushed it back." I'm like, bullshit.
Well, it was supposed to come out this year. That's the date they had given up until
this shit
now.
Feels like your fucking distanced fucking biological father calls you up and says, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to make the trip this month. I promise I'll come down and visit you next month." It's like, you were never coming down. You fucking piece of shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Reading the feature list of this game is like, this isn't coming out. Your guys are way too ambitious. This is going to be in development hell for the rest of your lives.
Jesus.
No, that doesn't happen to indies all the time.
I totally didn't kickstart a game in 2016 that still isn't out and are still posting like, it's coming. We really obviously ran out of money years ago and are just working on it on our off time, but it's coming, we promise. Heart for Alicia. Infinity Nikki was announced. This is the open world full real game version of a fashion game that's on like phones, and apparently it has a lot of really crazy lore, which I guess makes sense considering this insanely fake trailer for this insanely fake game they showed.
Oh yeah,
I'm very excited to play this game. It is not real.
Like we keep saying, there's all these Chinese games that keep being announced, and they show the fakest looking trailer in the world. And it's like, what will this game actually be when it comes out?
that seriously has the same energy of you just being like, that is a really beautiful woman. And I'm like, that is machine AI art. And you should know that people don't have 4 eyes. I'm so excited to play this real video game. That's not real. This thing's insane. This thing is really breaking new boundaries.
Every
in
time
the
you
world.
think it's done being new and insane, it keeps going.
We thought the 7 Deadly Sins trailer was something. Now I'm not so sure. I'm gonna have to watch that again. Just be like, the swimming looks great, but
7 Deadly Sins game, 7 Deadly Sin Origins got another trailer this week, and that also looks fucking Unreal levels fake, just like the first one.
It's something. It's really something. This is getting to a point where it needs a category. But Infinity Nikki's very funny. If you have not seen the trailer, look up the trailer for Infinity Nikki game. It's, oh man.
Neon White is coming to Sony platforms on December 13th.
They waited just long enough for us to buy it on PC.
Apparently on
right?
PS5, it's going to have 120 hertz mode.
Ooh.
Good they know.
And it's going to have full adaptive trigger usage based on all the different abilities you have. So each one will have a different feeling adaptive trigger thing.
Great.
Cool.
I'll probably rather play that on mouse and keyboard anyway, so it's probably fine that I bought this on PC last week.
Yeah, I know that's how I am, because Mirror's Edge, I really preferred playing on PC to the point where I basically didn't beat that game myself.
What if they build in the leaderboard functionality with the notifications, and we have to ruin all our own lives?
Oh yeah, Bob floated that the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna let it ruin me. I'm buying it again. That will be the simplest decision I've ever fucking made. Hey, we use the integrated leaderboard system. Oh, okay, here's another $25. Good job. You get it. That's when I realized, like, we need to start petitioning games that make sense to have that leaderboard integration before they even announce them for the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, your game needs this. Go play Astro.
PlayStation Plus Classics catalog will add Star Wars Battlefront 2 for PSP.
Why?
Because they don't fucking know what to do. Do you think that, like, Jim Ryan just picked, like, the fucking most clueless European Sony guy to be in charge of this initiative, and he's like, I don't know what games are. I guess Star Wars?
Yeah, there's even, like, good PSP exclusive Star Wars games they could have picked. Like that weird...
Yeah, that Unreal Engine 2 one we played. That was really cool. I would love to get a version of that had high res.
Instead,
here's the portable knockoff, the portable bootleg looking version of the full console experience you actually want. You know what it actually is? You want to hear what it actually is?
What is it?
That's on back compat on Series X, so. The actual version you want, the Xbox original version.
They shouldn't even put this version out then. It'll just make people upset and confused. They'll download it and be like, this isn't like I remember.
God, how are they this bad?
Yeah, it's unreal. So they announced a new Amnesia game. It's called Amnesia: The Bunker. It seems like it's actually just a new Penumbra game, but they called it Amnesia because that's their more recognizable franchise name. They gave you seem to have weapons, so it's definitely different from Amnesia, which was one of the very first. This is what horror needs to be in 7th gen. Also, it's fucking awful. I shouldn't say that. I only played the first 2. Maybe Amnesia Rebirth is actually really great, but I fucking hated the first 2.
You know, hearing you say stuff like that makes me feel the way anyone should when they hear someone talk about having seen all the Saw films. So like, wow, you ate all that garbage, huh? That's crazy that you're just saying a bunch of stuff and none of it matters. It's not landing. No one cares. They did what in Saw 4? Okay, sweetie.
Yeah. I mean, that's also how I think people should feel when someone says, I watched all the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, but the 5th one's hilarious.
I'm sure one of the Saw movies is hilarious.
Yes, correct.
But does it know it? Or
yes.
Okay.
And that literally that's the shark. And by the time they jump it, that's the rest of the franchise.
Yeah, Amnesia was just the very first one of the, like, you can't fight the monster. You'll die like 2 times, and then all tension will be gone because you know that the monster just touches you and you die, and then you're done. and go back to the checkpoint.
Yes, late 7th gen, 8th gen horror, it really is just rough. It is amazing that Resident Evil 7 was clearly inspired by that, but was also good.
Yeah, it's impressive.
PT was inspired by it, but was also bad, and if everyone woke up, they would realize that. Nah, it's cool. I love my game not being beatable at all unless I have a Bluetooth headset hooked up. That's fucking brilliant. See, on the PS5, it wouldn't have been a problem. There's a mic built straight into the controller, and most people don't mute it.
It's true.
On PS4, you literally need your headset plugged into the bottom and then just hanging. And anyway, are you actually going to give this game a chance? Because I think it's stroke-inducing that they announced a new Amnesia.
No.
Okay, we'll just have to leave it for Bob to do.
No.
That's it, though, right? No one else has any news?
No, that's everything.
Well, then that means, hey Bob, are we doing Binary Domain or Callisto?
I don't know.
I feel like we're doing Binary Domain.
That's up to you. I'm fine either way.
Check this out. We can do Binary Domain this week, right?
Yeah.
And then next Friday we could do Callisto, and then put up the stream goal for High on Life, which is the only way we're ever fucking playing that video game.
Yeah, God. That's
gee, Dan, you're gonna put up the stream goal. It's gonna go. You have to play High on Life.
The stream goal to inject this slowly was acid.
I feel like they need to make a pinata of Morty, but if you hit it, it just wakes up and shakes. I feel like that would be really good. Have a stream redemption for hit it with the stick.
Are you saying they need to make like the big mouth bass, but for Morty?
Yes, kind of. More shaky pinata Halloween decoration, but you know, he just looks like Morty. He's not like Halloween themed Morty or anything like that. What was it? I was on the GigaBoots fan Discord, talked about the Red Letter Media % run, where it's just like, oh, we hit Mike and Jay, turn off the game. Yeah, anyways, Binary Domain tomorrow. I'm really excited. It may not sound like it from the discussion I just had with Bob, but no, it is literally we're spoiled for choice, because it could have been Ashura's Wrath. But yeah, Binary Domain running at 60 frames per second is fucking weird.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to play this game that is clearly nothing like it was at launch.
Hey, that's not true. There was also a PC version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was right at launch, wasn't it?
Yeah, huh.
So there was a version that ran at 60 frames a second.
Okay, that's cool. We're not playing that version yet. We've done dark magic to get it to run well. Aside from that, please looking forward to the Game Awards and Big Thing Dimension next week. That's going to be exciting. This Monday, we have some Sonic-themed content coming out for podcast listeners. I'm not going to say what. I'll let your imagination run wild, so that way when you see what it is, you get sad. Chris, what do you got going on in the next week?
Since I finished chugging the biggest games I have to chug for other content we intend to do, at some point I'll start streaming the massive things. We're going to play Live or Die. where I stream a game on the Game of the Year backlog, and I go, now do I play you more later, or do you get to die? And the first game that's it's gonna be is gonna be Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully your save makes it through the stream.
Did something happen?
There's a reason Tosh stopped playing that game. Then it was not for a lack of interest.
No.
It's so much more tragic than you could imagine.
Yeah, that knocks you down to 0.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe it's just the Steam version. And then people in chat were telling us, like, no, I'm the console one. So thank you, chat. You reminded me Kirby wasn't on that list. The list is now up to 18 games for me.
Choo choo.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Thank God the Gears video is done.
Ish.
Don't say that. It's going to be fine. I'm going to watch it. There's going to be no rendering problems or anything. Stop saying that. Anyways, that's going to be a good stream. You doing that Saturday probably, Chris?
I don't know. I have to help some people with stuff on Saturday, so I don't know if that'll be through the time I would normally stream or if it'll be done before then. We had a snap freeze, so people had problems with water lines.
Oh.
Yeah, that always sucks.
Yeah.
Having an environment like that where it snaps from way too hot to fucking frozen. Terrible. At least around here, it's a little bit more moderated by the water.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we get cold snap, but not to that.
Not usually, no.
Yeah.
I did get trapped on an island one year.
Yes.
That was not great. I was pretty fucking pissed at my job. Because we knew.
Yeah, that does happen. We see it coming every time. And
every time, management's like, no, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. The hurricane's going away. Walmart's not shutting down. We're not shutting down.
Just come over onto an island during the hurricane. It'll be fucking fine.
The hurricane's not going to shut down the bridge. Why would the hurricane shut down the bridge? We've never seen anything in our lives.
We haven't even lived in Florida for more than a year. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of Big Thing to Mention. See you guys next week for the Game Awards and everything else that's going on. Bye. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Thing to Mention. Podcasts such as this are truly only possible because of the power of your support over at patreon.com/GB Podcast, where you've been able to fund us doing this at a full-time job rate, whether or not we've held jobs on the side at the same time as regardless. 9,000 minutes this year, huh? Bye!